welcome to part 4 of our beginner series to crochet. In this particular episode we will be learning the double treble. We always work in UK terms with US terms up on the screen. Now, in US terminology, the double treble is simply known as the treble, and that's all there is to it, just the name. So as always, we start off with a slip knot and chains. One, 2, 9 and 10. Now for our turning chain, we are going to chain up 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. The first chain that we will start in will be the 5th chain from the hook, so not this one, nor this one, this one, this one, but this one right here, just here. Now we're going to yarn over twice. We're going to go through that chain stitch. Now we have 4 loops on that hook. We yarn over, we pull through just the once, and we still have 4 loops on the hook, so we yarn over, we pull through 2, we have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 loops on that hook, yarn over, pull through those 2, yarn over twice, go into that chain stitch, 4 loops on that hook, yarn over, pull through once, so 4 loops on that hook, so we yarn over, pull through twice, yarn over, pull through twice, yarn over, pull through twice. Okay, yarn over twice, go through that chain stitch, yarn over, pull through, 4 loops on that hook, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 loops on that hook, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 loops on that hook, yarn over, pull through 2. So it's very similar to the treble stitch, except we're yarning over twice rather than once. So we're going into that chain stitch, yarning over, pulling through, 4 loops on that hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over twice, go into that stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over twice, into that chain stitch, yarn over, pull through, 4 loops on that hook, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 loops on that hook, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 loops on that hook, yarn over, pull through 2. And as always, keep practicing. If you get baffled by the amount of times you have to yarn over or pull through your stitches, just simply count. Just simply take note of how many stitches are on that hook. Just remember the first one is to yarn over twice, and then when we pull through, when we yarn over, we pull it through just that once, so that we have 4 loops on that hook. And then we yarn over, take off 2, so we have 3 loops on that hook, yarn over, take off 2, we have 2 loops on that hook, yarn over, take off those last 2. So go slowly, take note of how many loops there are on your hook, and just practice. This particular stitch can be a little bit confusing at first, but once you see the pattern emerging with how many times you yarn over and pull the stitches off, you'll be absolutely fine. Now we're at the end of this row, so we're yarning over twice, going through that stitch, yarning over, pulling through, yarn over, pull for 2, yarn over, pull for 2, yarn over, pull for 2. And now on row 2 we're going to chain up 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. I'm going to turn over, and as always on row 2 you'll notice the 2 stitches known as the V-stitch, or as we've coined it, the C-stitch, because it from that angle looks like the letter C, but from this angle it is a V shape. So to know where to go for your first stitch, just take a look at the stitches here and remember to follow along that chain. So this stitch is already here, so we're going into this one here. So this is the stitch that you need to go into. So we yarn over twice, go into both of those stitches, yarn over, pull through, 4 loops on that hook, yarn over, pull for 2, yarn over, pull for 2, yarn over, pull for 2. And once you get onto the second row, it is a lot easier for you to see your stitches. See, as the stitches get bigger with the half treble, treble and double treble, it's a lot easier for you to see your stitches regardless of what colour yarn you are using, simply because of the height of the stitch. And then you just follow along the row of stitches and you'll know where to go next. Now it's a little bit more difficult with the shorter stitches, for example the double crochet. But with these longer stitches it's a lot easier, a lot simpler, and as you've noticed they build up very, very quickly. The one up from the double treble is known as the triple treble. I'm not going to show you it here, but what I will say is that when you yarn over twice for the triple treble, you just simply yarn over again, and that's it. That's the only difference. And then from then on, if you want bigger stitches, you just yarn over more. I'm not quite sure what the stitch name is for the next one after the triple treble, but as you notice with this one you yarn over twice, the triple treble you yarn over 3 times, so the next one you yarn over 4 times. But I don't think there'd be really that many uses for a stitch at all. But as you progress in your crochet journey, who knows, maybe you'll find a use for stitches that are taller and taller. But as you've noticed with the lessons thus far, it's just a matter of adding more loops to the hook. Now we're approaching the end of this row. We have 3 stitches left of this row, just here. So that's yarn over twice, go through that stitch, pull through, 4 loops on that hook, yarn over, 2 loops, yarn over, 2 loops, yarn over, 2 loops. And I'll do that for the last 2. As always, the very last stitch is a trickier one to pull your stitches into, because the last stitch on any row does tend to tighten up. So if you can't quite see the 2 stitches, the V stitch, just try and get in there regardless. So if you can only go through 1 stitch, that's absolutely fine. Just as long as you manage to go through that stitch and tidy up your row, you'll be absolutely fine. Right, let's go on to the next row. So chain up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you to do this row all by yourself, and I shall meet you at the end. So see you in 1 moment. Right, okay, we are on the very last stitch. So we yarn over twice, we find that stitch, and we're going to chain up 1. They have a nice long tail. Pull that loop through, tighten it ever so slightly, and we're just going to sew the ends in. Pull that out the way. Okay, so if you notice with those 3 rows, your work is a lot taller with the triple, I was going to say the triple treble then, with the double treble. I'm going to show you a comparison. So here is the treble that we did in the previous one. Notice how small it is compared to the double treble. So it does build up so differently, doesn't it? That's the first row there. That's the second row. And the third row is there, but it kind of just looks like we've done 2 rows there, doesn't it? And then here is a double crochet, and you'll notice that's a lot smaller. It kind of just looks like 1 row of double trebles right there, doesn't it? So that's kind of the difference in how the stitches are utilised, really. And you can start to see what kind of projects you would make with these. This would make a perfect jumper with those stitches, nice, light and airy. This one would make, I would say, a nice pair of gloves. See? And this one is fantastic for projects where you need the stitch to be super tight, so there's barely any gaps. They're most commonly used for sort of stuffies or amigurumi, anything where you put stuffing into, for example. So have a practice of the stitches that I've taught you in these last few lessons, and put them all together so you can see the comparison yourself, and you'll start to see what kind of projects you can make from simply knowing the foundational stitches. Now, in part 5, I'm going to teach you how to make a granny square. Now, the granny square utilises this particular stitch, the treble, but granny squares, you can pretty much make any type of granny square using any type of stitch, but the most common granny square is known as the classic granny square, and that is the one that utilises trebles. Now, you can make a granny square utilising the double trebles, of course, and you can make one utilising double crochet, but I'm going to stick to the most simple method of teaching you, and I'm going to teach you the classic granny square in the next episode. So, happy crocheting, happy learning brand new stitches, and I'd love to know how well you're progressing, so please do comment down and let me know how useful these lessons have been to you. And are you an absolute beginner or somebody that hasn't crocheted for a while and these lessons have helped you remember how to make your stitches? Have you never crocheted before and now you're sort of beginning to get the grasp of it? Or are you simply watching all of these lessons first and then having a go at them all? Please do let me know. And I've enjoyed making this series. And the series isn't over yet. I'm making a part 5 with the granny square. I might make some bonus episodes because there are a few more things that you need to know as a beginner. For example, how to change colour, whether it's in the middle of the row or the end of the row, or if you need to change from one ball of yarn to the other. There's plenty more things to learn. But next week I will come back with a part 5 with granny square, and from then on I believe I'll be continuing on with tutorials on how to make specific things. I've got a jumper on the go at the moment, so hopefully we'll be doing a tutorial on that soon. And springtime is slowly approaching, so we'll be doing more sort of springtime makes, for example bucket hats or crop tops, leg warmers, that kind of thing. So I will see you in part 5. Goodbye.